Vishwasya, of the universe, Yaha, who, Sthiti, maintenance, Laya, destruction, Udbhava, creation, Hetuhu, the cause, Adyaha, the most ancient person, Yogeshwaraha, Yoga Ishwarahe, by the masters of yoga, Api, even, Duratyaya, cannot be easily understood, Yogamaya, his Yogamaya potency, Shemam, good, Vidhasyati, will do, Saha, he, Naha, of us, Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Tri Adhishaha, the controller of the three modes of material nature, Tatra, there, Asmadiya, by our, Vimrishena, deliberation, Iyan, what, Iha, on this subject, Artha, purpose. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. My dear sons, the Lord is the controller of the three modes of nature and is responsible for creation, preservation and destruction of the universe. His wonderful creative power, Yogamaya, cannot be easily understood even by the masters of yoga. That most ancient person, the personality of Godhead, will alone come to our rescue. What purpose can we serve on his behalf by deliberating on the subject? Purport. When something is arranged by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one should not be disturbed by it, even if it appears to be a reverse according to one's calculations. For example, sometimes we see that a powerful preacher is killed,
or sometimes he is put into difficulty, just as Haridas Thakur was. He was a great devotee who came into this material world to execute the will of the Lord by preaching the Lord's glories. But Haridas was punished at the hands of the Qazi by being beaten in 22 marketplaces. Similarly, Lord Jesus Christ was crucified and Prahlad Maharaj was put through many tribulations. The Pandavas, who were direct friends of Krishna, lost their kingdom. Their wife was insulted, and they had to undergo many severe tribulations. Seeing all these reverses affect devotees, one should not be disturbed. One should simply understand that in these matters there must be some plan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Bhagavatam's conclusion is that a devotee is never disturbed by such reverses. He accepts even reverse conditions as the grace of the Lord. One who continues to serve the Lord even in reverse conditions is assured that he will go back to Godhead, back to the Vaikuntha planets. Lord Brahma assured the demigods that there was no use in talking about how the disturbing situation of darkness was taking place, since the actual fact was that it was ordered by the Supreme Lord. Brahma knew this because he was a great devotee. It was possible for him to understand the plan of the Lord. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purports of the 3rd canto, 16th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Two Doorkeepers of Vaikuntha, Jaya and Vijaya, Cursed by the Sages. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we welcome everyone for the morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. And we seek blessings of all the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. So this purport mentions about dealing with reverses. How we see the reverses as the plan of the Lord. It is mentioned the Bhagavatam's conclusion is that a devotee is never disturbed by reverses. He accepts them as the grace of the Lord. And one who continues to serve the Lord even in reverse conditions is assured that he will go back to Godhead, back to Vaikuntha planets. So when we think about reverses, often very high examples are given in purports. As Srila Prabhupada writes, a preacher is killed. Prahlad Maharaj is tortured. Jesus Christ. Many examples. Haridas Thakur. Srila Haridas Thakur is tortured. And how a devotee accepts them as the plan of the Lord. Now I was reflecting, what are reverses? Reverses need not be something very drastically big. Even small reverses in life sometimes or many times disturb us a lot. In fact, when we talk about somebody's IQ, EQ, SQ, somebody's emotional quotient. So some people have very developed emotional strength to handle reverses. And some may not have that much. Or some may have emotional strength to handle reverses in some specific areas, but not in another specific areas. So you may find somebody standing very strong, even if somebody dies in the family. But the same person gets completely shaken up by some financial turmoil. Somebody may be good in the context of somebody's death or financial turmoil, but that person may break down in case of some relationship breakdown, some problem, some trust, some loyalty in that case. So different people have different threshold where they break down. Now there's one study which mentions that how we suffer breakdown or we suffer mentally because, as Gita also explains, it is not always the external circumstances, but our mindset is somewhere at the fault. If you see those who are not in touch with Bhagavat philosophy or Gita philosophy, one of the things which they do to overcome negativity in their life or pessimism in their life is practice positive affirmations. I am okay. I am stable. I am safe. I am secure. And it's one of the effective ways. Now, if we see in our daily context, every day we hear Srimad Bhagavatam. Every day we have to hear some katha. So just like on a platform of affirmations, it is nothing but rectifying your inner wiring about how we think, what is our mindset. Similarly, this idea of every day hearing Shikshashtakam, every day focusing on 10 offenses, every day hearing Srimad Bhagavatam or reading Bhagavad Gita or scriptures is nothing but rectifying the mindset about how we look at this world, which is always presenting reverses to us. So I have made a list of some of the unhealthy mindsets which make it very difficult to face reverses, because we have wired ourselves in a wrong mindset. Either because of social media propaganda in an unhealthy way, or because of family wiring has been like that. The community which we are coming from, we are wired in certain way to think. And that needs to be rectified. So those who are interested to hear these things, please say HariBol. So what are the different wirings we have? Now, one of the first mindset is the controlling mindset, which makes it difficult to face reverses because we always want to control. Like this thought process is there that I must have my way. And it's just not tolerable when things are not the way I like them to be. And we will not realize we have this mindset when things go reverse and it affects us. And to some degree, all of us get affected. But the problem happens when any of this mindset affects us to such a degree that we become dysfunctional. So I am not saying that, oh, none of us should get affected. We all get. Now, as we read through, we will see that we all get affected. But to what degree? If it's extreme, then something needs to be seriously done. So let's say controlling mindset, that I must have my way. So I'll just spend around 3 minutes on every mindset, something like that, 2 or 3 minutes. You see, in Bhagavatam, it is clearly mentioned how when Daksha enters the assembly, everyone offers pranams except Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. So, in one sense, he doesn't accept from Lord Brahma, but he's not expecting that, but from Lord Shiva, he's expecting. But just one person doesn't go his way, he just loses it, loses his temper, loses his control on his speech. Same thing goes in Hiranyakashipu. One small boy, 5 years old, that's his own son, doesn't go his way, his controlling wire gets activated. And his lives become hellish. You look at Ravan, he has so many ladies from all over the creation. One Sita doesn't agree to go his way and he goes crazy. Controlling mindset. Now, Bhagavad Gita rectifies scriptures with the Gita, Bhagavad. It provides us shlokas to rectify the mindset. If you see 12th chapter of Gita, it says, Adveshta sarva bhutana maitra karuna evacha nirmamo nirahankara. Free from controllership, free from false ego. So they give us sutras that you are entering a creation which is going to be full of reverses, and there will be people who will not be ready to get controlled by you. Some would be better than you, some would be more demoniac than you, but the point is they will not be able to control by you. Then what? And it says, Yatatma, and the translation given is self-control. Do not try to control the world, try to control yourself. Yatatma drida nishchaya. This is the first mindset, which makes it difficult to face reverses. The second mindset, which makes it difficult to face reverses. Now, these first three mindsets start from C. So the second mindset is certainty mindset. Somewhere or other, we have a strong expectation to be able to ascertain everything for the future. सब कुछ ऐसा ही होना चाहिए भविष्य में. Now, this certainty mindset also creates such a big problem because when things are uncertain, some of us become highly uncomfortable. Why things are uncertain? Or they did not unfold in the future the way they are in the current times. And the classic example we all quote from Ramayana, how Lord Ram was planning to be coronated and suddenly his exile was announced. Uncertain. If you study from 6th canto Srimad Bhagavatam, Chitraketu Maharaj, he was enjoying in his flight, enjoying flying in his plane, having great time. And suddenly, no idea this curse is going to come, which is going to, from top, suddenly throw him down to a demoniac platform. Everything gone, all his opulences, all his great association, all his apparently devotional environment, everything gone. So now when Srimad Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita or scriptures throw these situations on us, they prepare, as I said in the beginning, they rewire us. You are living in a world which is uncertain. If you see in 8.15 Gita, the word which is mentioned, ashashwatam. I think when we practice affirmations, we should also practice speaking out this verse maybe 10 times every day. For those who are affected by, those who get too easily affected by uncertainty and become dysfunctional. Mamupetya punarjanma. Boliye. Dukhalyam ashashwatam. Napnuvanti mahatmanam. Samsiddhim paramam gatim. So sometimes we are, become overly anxious for things that are highly uncertain, maybe potentially dangerous. But be ready. Sometimes we see uncertainty unfolding in somebody's life, and somewhere we have this, हमारे जीवन में तो ऐसा नहीं होगा. क्यों? आप कौन से स्वर्ग से गिरे हैं? We are all, और गिरे हैं तो that's why ऐसा होगा, because गिरे हैं. We are in the material world. अगर स्वर्ग में है या नरक में है या भूलोक में है, that is the place. Uncertainty. In fact, just the next verse, आ ब्रह्म भुवना लोक पुनरावर्तिनो अर्जुन. Ah, Brahma, from topmost Brahma lok to the lowest, everywhere is uncertain. Enjoy the uncertainty. And if you face uncertainty, tell yourself, it's okay. Aisa hota hai. I think this should be the mantra for today. It's okay. Can you all chant that? It's okay. You can keep a hand on your heart and say, it's okay. Things unfolded not the way I expected. Therefore, in 16th chapter, it is mentioned, Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavasthita. And in that it is mentioned, Teja Shama Dhritish. Teja Shama Dhritish Shaucham. What is Teja? Teja refers to vigor. Now, vigor is defined as the quality to face uncertainties in life with strength and enthusiasm. That is the divine quality which needs to be cultivated. Bhavanti sampadam devim. And then another thing which is mentioned is dhriti. Now, dhriti is translated as fortitude. The quality to face the uncertainties with courage and endurance. So this is the second mindset which we are carrying, and we do not realize that we have this certainty mindset when reversal hits us and it just completely shakes us up. The third C is the comfort mindset. I should be comfortable and without pain at all times. ऐसा नहीं होता है. Comfortable either in terms of your physical comforts or comfortable in terms of dealing in relations. Sometimes you have to face discomfort. The very fact Arjun has to stand in front of his relatives and fight, that was not comfortable for him. But he has to face it if he has to follow his dharma. But he's telling, I want to escape. I do not want to face discomfort. So when the reversal comes and suddenly you are face to face and now I have to face. So escapism becomes our pattern. because we are not able to face reversal. So we want to escape, we want to run away. And we want to find a Shastric reason to run away. So that is another. We are not able to face reversal that time. And Shri Krishna is so clear in Bhagavad Gita. He says, Sahajam karma kaunteya. Every action is covered by fault and some discomfort. To extend it, there is a discomfort. And of course, then we all have what is our discomfort threshold. I remember we were in Govardhan in 2021. And we were staying for almost, I think, more than a week. And we got a room somewhere. 3 of us were there. And the room was very comfortable. And that person said, I can give you room only for 4 days. And I think after that 4 days, we have to find something else. But we really found a cheap room and a comfortable room. So we stayed there. He was charging, I think, 700 or 800 per day. So we stayed there. And then after that, now, there was no room easily available in the whole Govardhan. It was Kartik packed, every hotel. This is last minute booking. So, jo mila, theek hai, chalo. Ultimately, we have to just stay, perform bhakti somewhere sitting near Giriraj ji. So, done. And then, after 4th day, now we are searching. Now, 4th day, suddenly checkout time is there and we do not have any place to stay. And then finally we found a hotel, just 5 minutes walk from that hotel. And that place, when we entered the room was on the ground floor. This is like a marriage hall with 3 rooms only available there. And they said, we are going to charge you 1,000 rupees. So the devotee who went to get the room, he said, Prabhuji, now let's take this room. There is no other room available. So I said, at least the basic cleanliness is there. I have some threshold, I can't handle such some basic cleanliness. He said, it's looking clean on the ground floor. And when we went there, I also saw room is clean. Let's bring all our luggage, put it there. Fine. So we placed our luggage there. And when we finally entered the room to lie down, such small rats, they were jumping all over the room. They were inside the bed, inside the mattress. Suddenly I am lying down and 5 rats are doing parikrama around me. It was... I can't forget that. Suddenly we jumped out. How much ever tired we are now, just get out of this place. I can't sleep. Better to sleep on the road, near Giriraj. But can't sleep here. And all 3 of us, everyone agreed. No, itna discomfort to sahan nahi kar sakte. Chuho ke beech mein sona. But room was really looking clean. But ground floor, the rooms, rats came. And they were not like, actually they were very sweet looking rats. They were not like those we see in the Mumbai lanes here, the dirty rats. Actually they were sweet looking. But you can't sleep there. It's uncomfortable. And they were all looking like from same family, small rats. But anyway, I don't want to do the rat katha here right now. The point is comfort. But then at times you have to face discomfort. And it is difficult to be uncomfortable, but a strong mind somehow learns to adjust. ठीक है, अभी possible नहीं है, difficult है, adjust हो जाएगा. The 4th mindset. So how many we covered till now? 3. First was controlling mindset. We are not able to handle reverses. 2nd, certainty. 3rd, comfort. Now, the next series starts from A. First is approval mindset. Again, a big problem. Sometimes we have no idea how much approval seeking we are, and we just depend कि हमारे सबसे close संबंधी, those who are very close to us, at least they will stand next to us for every decision, every situation. They will approve for us for all our victories, all our achievements, or they'll be always next to us. But sometimes the biggest reversal comes, the person on whom we trusted the most is standing on the opposite side. Anybody has seen people getting affected in this world by that? Please raise your hand. Suddenly, this is the biggest. मतलब वो है ना कि कोई दुश्मन साथ ना दे, ठीक है, अपना ही साथ ना दे. It's so difficult. Now, scriptures wire us कि ऐसा भी होता है. Get ready for it. So if you are not ready for it, then please, scriptures tell us, listen to this again and again. I often wonder, the person who stood against Ram, Lord Ram, bringing Sita back to Ayodhya from Lanka, that person was there from Ayodhya itself. And when Lord Ram was supposed to be coronated 14 years back, everybody in Ayodhya loved Ram. So out of them only, those people who were always there, one of them or a few of them made comment which was so painful to Ram, for which Sita had to be exiled. Okay, forget about post-coronation. Before, 14 years back if you go, as we read, Mother Kaikai loved Ram the most and Ram loved Kaikai the most. So we have heard this story hundreds and hundreds of times. Right now I am speaking from approval. मतलब ये तो faith था ना दशरथ को, चलो कहीं तो कुछ नहीं बोलेगी, उसको तो पूछने की भी जरूरत नहीं है. But Mantra had all crazy stories. You know, they are doing a Shadyantra, conspiracy against you. They are planning. And she got filled up with those ideas. Now, the person who should be having complete trust in Ram, that Ram will never cheat me, Ram will give us the best treatment, she got filled with the idea that Ram is planning a conspiracy against Bharat and Kaikai. वो idea आ गया, उधर से approval नहीं मिला. But imagine the emotional development of Sri Ramachandra. He just faced it. Sudden reversal. Therefore, it is mentioned, Dukkheshva anudvignamana, Sukheshva vigataspriha. Please chant, Dukkheshva anudvignamana, Sukheshva vigataspriha, Vitaraga bhaya krodha, Sthita dhirmuniruchyate. One who is not disturbed in threefold miseries. When there is happiness, one who is free from attachment, fear and anger. Sthita dhir. So when you do not get approval, what do? You keep a hand on your heart and what do you say? It's okay. Can you all chant this mantra? It's okay. It's okay. Because problem comes here. This part gets agitated. It's not okay. So you have to keep it's okay. Approval nahi mila. Everybody has a freedom to give approval or not give approval. It's there. Now this next A is achievement mentality. What is achievement mentality? Which also makes it difficult to face reversal. I am not worthwhile till I am thoroughly competent, thoroughly achieving, thoroughly adequate at all times. How can I fail? How can I face setback? How can I be rejected? But then again, you study Mahabharata, you study Ramayana, you study scriptures. Not everybody was achieving, adequate, competent in all aspects at all time. If Arjun could perform well with his Dhanur Vidya, Bhim was not good in that. If Arjun and Bhim were great warriors, maybe Maharaj Yudhishthir may not be good in that field, and he would be good in maybe as an advisor, as a dharmic guide, he would be good in that. So not everybody was. So to feel completely safe in your inadequacies, And therefore, spiritual life makes it so sweet, Patram, pushpam, phalam, toyam, yo me, jo de sakte ho de do. Yat karoshi, yad ashnashi, yad juhoshi, dadasi, yad. Jo kar sakte ho karo. Karmanne ma अधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन. आप अपना कर्म आपका अधिकार है. You do your duties as per the modes with which you are designed. So you can't be achieving competent, adequate at all times in all fields. Not possible. Therefore, we often hear this statement. It is the thought that counts. It is the consciousness that counts. It is not that which field you are not expert and somebody is expert. But again, when you are not able to face that reversal, suddenly you are exposed. You are not good in this. You wanted to be good in this. You could not be. But scriptures say it's not possible. Recently, the NEET exams results were out. So I was sharing with one candidate who could not get the rank he wanted. And I was sharing my story when I was doing MBBS and I finished MBBS. I said there was such a, although I had two desires simultaneously. I wanted to join the temple. Plus, I also wanted to prove that I can get very high score in postgraduate NEET exam also. And somebody asked me from the ashram, why you want to give your PG exam, entrance exam, when you're already planning to join the temple? And I was sharing with this young boy, I said, I have to honestly say, kahin na kahin wo bolte na, वो अचीवमेंट का डिजायर रहता है कि आई वांट टू शो कि एग्जाम दिया, अच्छा रैंक आया और उसको लात मार के मंदिर में आ गए. वो था एक. But somehow by that time the desire to be in the temple grew and grew. That desire backed out and then I did. अभी भी 26 years later I reflect, somewhere that thing is there. एक बार वो प्रूव करना था. अरे वो गया तो गया. So I was telling some of these candidates, I said, some things, Dhruv Maharaj, Narad Muni told, why you have to go ahead? It's okay. बच्चा है, शांत हो जा, घर पे जाओ, enjoy करो, तपस्या क्यों करनी है? Dhruv was a candidate. No, I want to go for it. And he did go for it. And now we sing Dhruva's story because he became successful. हो सकता है ना मिलते भगवान. हो सकता है kingdom ना मिलता. We do not know what, every success story we quote, but we forget the other possibilities there. But the point is, okay, fine. Some choose to be an achiever. That's perfect. Hona chahiye. But at times, even after having achievement mindset, some things you will not get on your table by destiny or by the flow of life. And then you have to live with it. कि ये नहीं मिला. ऐसी कितनी चीजें सबके जीवन में होंगी जो maybe we wanted to achieve 10 years back, 15 years back. Now the age is gone. Now we can't do that. And we have to live with it. Okay, that achievement we could not do. Done. Live with that acceptance. But sometimes people live in that past. वही grudge लेके बैठे रहते हैं कि अरे achievement नहीं हुआ, नहीं हुआ. Unhealthy mindset. Not able to face reversals. We covered 1A, 2A. No, 1. 2. Approval and achievement. Yes. Third is avoidance mindset. It's very similar to comfort mindset, but it's specifically focusing on always avoiding. It's easier to avoid life's difficulty than to face them. ऐसे लोग का यही नारा रहता है. It's easier to avoid life's difficulty than to face them. They're always in avoiding. The very idea, person takes to addictions, person takes to just go to sleep whole day because can't face, avoid. Bhagavad Gita mentions, kleshodhik tarastesham avyakta asakta chetasam avyaktahi gatir dukkam deha vadbhiravapyate. When the discussion comes impersonalism or personalism, Shri Krishna says, impersonalism is difficult, full of kashta in the practice. But then some people see personalism as kashta. Why? Because personalism calls for surrender. Personalism calls for fighting against false ego. That's the only thing which is difficult there. Surrender to a person, dealing with the false ego, that's difficult. If one can face that difficulty, in long term, that is the biggest reward, personalism. So sometimes we all get stuck in certain pain which we want to avoid. And we are not understanding, just ye pain cross kar liya, life is great. You see, Arjun wanted to avoid the battle. So much bloodshed was there. Now that itna bloodshed dekhna is painful. So he wanted to avoid because it's ghastly. But now I was talking to somebody. If you talk about Arjun and Vyasadev, if you go to any college here, you ask, do you know Vyasadev? Many will not have no idea. But many will have idea of Arjun. Because Arjun is all about how he dealt with the world, with the war, how he dealt with the Bible, how he performed his duties out there in the world, how he overcome that pain of running away, avoiding. Avoidance mindset is another problem. We can't face reversals. Now we enter the realm of P. So we covered 3 C's, we covered 3 A's. If you would like to hear P, please say HariBol. 3 P's. What are the 3 P mindset? Now the first mindset in P is perfection mindset. Sometimes we have a mindset, जब तक चीजें perfect नहीं होगी आगे नहीं चलेंगे. But suddenly at times you have to face your own imperfections or the imperfections outside. I have an example. I'm really not sure if I should quote here, but I'll try because it's a funny example. I was talking to a husband who was telling how miserable he is with the wife he got. Now here, nothing against ladies. Some wives might have something similar to the husband. And because, why I remember this, because he was quoting this song. And that's where I was a little discomfort whether to quote this or not. It says, चांद सी महबूबा होगी मेरी ऐसा मैंने सोचा था. Now here I am talking about ऐसा मैंने सोचा था. मैंने नहीं, वो व्यक्ति ने, husband. वो बोल रहा है ऐसा मैंने सोचा था. And he said, I used to always sing song. हाँ तुम बिल्कुल वैसी ही हो जैसा मैंने सोचा था. He said, now तो मैं गाता हूं, हाँ तुम बिल्कुल ऑपोजिट हो जैसा मैंने सोचा था. बोला आई एम फ्रस्ट्रेटेड, एक भी चीज वो गाने वाली नहीं है. तो मैं बोला क्या था गाने में? मुझे तो ये लिरिक्स याद नहीं थे, बट देन आई रोट इट डाउन. ही सेड ऐसा रिश्ता है, ना रस्में हैं ना कसमें हैं, मतलब देयर इज नो ऑब्लिगेशंस, देयर इज नो रिचुअल्स यू आर बाउंड बाय, ना शिकवे हैं ना वादे हैं. व्हाट इज शिकवे? कंप्लेंट्स. क्या रिश्ता है? नो कंप्लेंट्स, no वादे, no promises. Oh, you will do this for me, you will do. No expectations. He was telling, इधर तो रिश्ते में शिकवे ही शिकवे हैं, वादे ही वादे हैं, रस्में ही रस्में. I am frustrated. Then I was remembering this. There is a whole, we are fed that thing by the songs, by the information, things will be perfect. But when they do not turn like that, then suddenly you get a jolt, you know. Like I was giving an example last Saturday in the class down. I said, आपके पास एक apple है या orange है. Many times what we do, if the apple is rotten somewhere, we cut that portion, throw it and eat rest of the apple. We have orange. Orange is full of juice. And because it's full of juice, there are seeds and fiber. They come in the mouth, we spit them out. Now the interesting, this means there are imperfections. It's not fully made of juice. Apple is not always great quality in spite of sometimes buying a costly apple, 80 rupees per apple, 70 rupees per apple, sometimes 100 rupees per apple. They're expensive apples. Then somebody asked me after the class, what if the apple is fully rotten? So naturally, then you throw the apple, then you buy another apple. But many times apples are not fully rotten. Many times somebody was talking about institution. Oh, I see so many faults in the institution. Then I showed them a whole YouTube videos. There is several YouTube videos made against our institution. There are YouTube videos made against another institution which is just next door. There are several YouTube videos made another institution which is some other part of Mumbai, telling the faults of that institution. देखो यहाँ पे क्या होता है behind the curtains. People are angry. People have this issues. People have that issues. You go anywhere, everywhere some rotten part you will find. Everywhere some seed, some fiber you will find. You have to throw it and enjoy the rus. जहाँ पे connect होता है, where you get your rus, your juice, you take it. But if something is too rotten, then we throw it. But perfection mindset, everything will be perfect. Nahi hota hai. This is the point mentioned here, you know. If you see Ramayana, Lord Ram wanted to fight Lanka. What was available? Monkeys. He could have said, अरे अयोध्या से बुलाओ लोगों को, perfect लोग को बुलाओ, यही available है, चलना है तो चलो, नहीं तो घर जाओ. Sometimes we are not able to deal with imperfection outside, and sometimes we are not able to deal with imperfection inside. Jatayu Maharaj, if you see, he has to fight against Ravan. He is imperfect. He is elderly. He doesn't have that physical strength which is required to fight Ravan. But he gives a great fight. So there's sudden reversal. Sudden situation is there where things are not up to your benchmark. And therefore, those who have a lot of problem with imperfection, when the situation offers a lot of imperfection, they have to get aside because they just get agitated by seeing imperfection. Somebody else who can live with imperfection, that person has to come forward and take the reins. So perfection mindset is another problem. Too perfect expectation may be not fit for certain situation where full of imperfections. How many P is over? Second P. People have some mindset. Past events are responsible. This is another mindset. उसी को लेके बैठे रहते हैं, मैं क्या करूं, मेरे अतीत में ऐसा हुआ, इसीलिए मैं ऐसा हूं. मेरा बचपन ऐसा गया, my friend cheated me, or this happened. Yes, it can be painful, and sometimes it takes long time to heal that trauma. But then at the same time, if we do not take steps to heal that, then more and more we proceed towards being dysfunctional. So on one side, it's absolutely okay to take your time to overcome that past trauma. But also know that better do something about it. And classic example is Karna. अरे मेरी माँ ने मुझे छोड़ दिया, मेरी माँ ने मुझे छोड़ दिया, Kunti left me, Kunti left me, Kunti left me. Honestly telling, I also feel for Karna. And please, I request an honest thing from the audience. Is there anyone who actually feels for Karna that pain that Kunti left was a pain actually? If you feel that, please raise hands. If you honestly feel that. क्योंकि एक तरह से अभी किस एंगल से आप महाभारत को पढ़ रहे हो, बट ये भी एक एंगल है कि the poor guy was left by the mother and that pain was there. But then always that pain is, I became like that because my mother left. I became, even if the offers come on, join Pandava's side, rectify yourself, give them. No, I was left out. With that pain platform, all the decisions taken. So that mindset, and then you're not able to handle the life properly. So that mindset has to be rectified. अभी past में जो हुआ सो हुआ. Therefore, Bhagavad Gita says, Raj Vidya Raj Guhyam Pavitram Midam Uttamam. Pratyakshavagam Dharma. Pavitram. It purifies you. Whatever past is past. It purifies you. It brings you out. Helps you go on a transcendental platform. It's the king of all education. I was looking at somebody forwarded me a reel of a lady who is speaking about human mindset. And the person who sent me is telling me, just see ये lady क्या बोल रही है. मैं बोला ये lady बोगस बोल रही है. मैं बोला ये आपको और इमोशनली वीक बनाएगी. But I am telling you, on a face value, if you see that reel, a common man who doesn't have knowledge of higher subjects will feel, अरे ये बिल्कुल सही बोल रही है. तो मैं जिसने मुझे भेजा मैं उसको पूछा, तूने पूछा क्या कि ये कौन है? Is she, this lady who is speaking, is she trained in some bona fide science, or it's her speculation which she's presenting about how to deal with life? Just because somebody is on the media and speaking something with confidence doesn't make that person bona fide and authentic. हाँ, जो बोल रहा है सही बोल रहा है. So why I'm giving this example? That information is feeding us and giving us idea. But when we are hearing about Karana, we are hearing about Raj Vidya. When Raj Vidya is feeding us, we get the strength that whatever the past was past, it can be healed. Pavitram idam uttamam. It can purify. This knowledge can be very purifying. Now, what is the 9.30 says? Api chet suduracharo. Even the most abominable background can be purified. What is the full verse? Api chet suduracharo bhajate mam. Samyak vyavasitos. Fixed in his determination. Sadhureva samantavya. He quickly become righteous. But provided you take shelter of Raj Vidya, you can't get righteous by watching a reel which has no authenticity and no bona fide scientific background. Science means either medical science or spiritual science, no authenticity. What is feeding information to you and preparing you for reversals? It's making you worse for the reversals. And now we come out this CAP. We go to the next category, that is, oh, time is over. I'm sorry, I didn't see. But the idea is, these are the unhealthy mindsets by which we are not fit to face reversals. I just want to end with one example last is, it's very nicely worded out. Anxiety about anxiety mindset. You know what is anxiety about anxiety mindset? Now I gave you this, I think today 3 plus 3 plus, around 8 mindsets I presented in front of you. Total I had a list of 13 mindsets. Now in this 8 mindsets, even after knowing that controlling mindset is wrong, even after knowing comforting mindset is not healthy for facing reversals, after knowing perfection mindset or avoidance or approval, or what else was there? Achievement mindset. These could be the cause of not being healthy enough to face reversals. We get into the trap of all this. And it's okay. Being okay with yourself, not being too anxious. Oh, what I fall into these traps. In spite of knowing all this, I can fall into this trap. Like one MBBS student was telling in the third MBBS, final year MBBS exam, there was a question on malaria. He wrote a perfect answer on malaria. What is the pathology, how it happens, what is the medicine to be given, this, that. And as soon as he came back from the exam, he got malaria. Now you can't say, अरे ये तो सही आंसर लिख के आया, इसको 10 में से 10 मार्क्स मिला, इसको मलेरिया नहीं होना चाहिए. So you can't tell me, or I can't tell myself, Hare, you gave a class on 8 unhealthy mindsets and now suddenly you got in the trap. It's okay. Everyone, please stand. It's okay. Hota hai aisa. So be kind to yourself also. That's why one of my favorite thing I always say, when Bhagavad Gita says compassion, not just being compassionate to others, being compassionate to yourself also. It's okay. So therefore, the whole idea of Srimad Bhagavatam class is to rectify the unhealthy mindsets so that we can face the reversals as it is presented in this beautiful purport, which says, he accepts even the reverse conditions as grace of the Lord, and that assures that he will go back to Godhead. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.